Hi, Steve Stine from guitarzoom here. Thank you so much for joining me, and welcome to my beginner guitar course video lesson series here on YouTube. And today what we're going to be talking about what's called the chromatic scale. And the reason we're learning that is so we can start learning all of the notes on our guitar. Now that might seem like a really boring thing, but it becomes really important, especially if you just watched the last video about power chords. You want to have some sort of relationship with somebody where you can talk to them and say, hey, can you go to B? Or we should, play a G or an B flat or something like that, whatever it might be, whether we're playing chords, eventually scales, all kinds of different things. So instead of thinking of it as learning the entire fretboard and all the notes on the fretboard, which seems like a lot, and it's really not too bad, what we're going to do is we're just going to focus on the sixth string for today, which is going to help us with some of the things that we've been learning, like the power chords. So if this does help you, please do me a favor, share the video, share the playlist link, which is down in the description. So let's go ahead and get started. The chromatic scale is like the dictionary of music. It's got all the notes. Now, the cool thing is there really are only 12 notes in music. So it doesn't matter if you've played piano before, you've seen a piano before. A piano has white keys and it has black keys. The white keys on the piano are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And those just get repeated over and over and over. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, F, G, A, B, C, F, G. As you repeat those, we call them octaves. It just keeps moving up. Now, the guitar also does the same thing, but we have those black keys that we need to learn in between the white keys, and sometimes that can get confusing, so I want to make this nice and easy for you. So again, as you keep learning theory, you might learn some different things, but right now what I want you to do is I want to find a real simple way of explaining this to you, okay? If we think about the notes in music, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then it just starts all over on A. Those are our white keys. Let's call those our primary keys, okay? Then we have the secondary keys, which are those black keys. Now, the black keys are called sharps or flats, accidentals they're referred to as. So if you think about it, if you had a white key on the piano, which is A, and then a white key on the piano, which is B, in between those, you've got a black key, which is A sharp. Now, if you've done some of this before, just bear with me as I explain this, because I'm going to do this as easy as possible. So A sharp, and B. The keys look different. There's a big white key, a little black key, but they're not, neither one is more or less important. They just look different. On the guitar, they don't. They're all frets. So A is going to be a fret, A sharp is going to be a fret, and B is going to be a fret. So A sharp, sharp means to raise. Flat, like flat tire, means to lower. Okay, we're going to get to flats in a minute. Let's just talk about sharps. So if you have A on the piano and you have B on the piano, and you've got a black key in the middle, that is A sharp. So if we thought about it, if we had these white notes, which are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, there are 7 of them. If all 7 of those notes, those white keys, got black keys, we'd wind up with 14 notes. But we don't have 14 notes. We only have 12. Just like the English language, we like to make things difficult. So instead of having 14 notes, we have 12. Now, why is that? Because there's a couple of white keys that don't get black keys. B and C on the piano, there is no black key in the middle. B to C, there is no B sharp. It doesn't exist on the piano, okay? So on the piano, there is no B sharp. On the guitar, there is no B sharp. Now, we could say B sharp, but if we say B sharp, what we're really saying is C. So let's just say C and not get confusing, okay? So some white keys have a black key in the middle. There are 2 that do not. B does not, and E to F does not. B and E, which spells the word B. If you just remember that, B and E. B doesn't get a sharp, E doesn't get a sharp. There's no black key. There's no B sharp on the piano, black key. There's no E sharp, black key on the piano. So you have the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Everybody gets sharps except for B and E. Okay? With that knowledge, you can go to your guitar and you can start learning all of these notes, but I'm going to show you an even easier way right after I show you how this works. Okay? So super cool because you could learn your notes in a fairly short amount of time with just a little practice. So as we talked about a long time ago, when you pluck the 6th string, the note you hear is E. This is E. So if we think about what we just talked about, Okay, let me put them in a circle so it makes sense. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We'll just look at it as a circle. And then we have all these black keys in between. So we have A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. And again, it takes a little while, but if you just go back to everybody gets sharps except for B and E. So when you pluck your sixth string, you hear the note E. So if you go to the first fret and you press right here, you're raising that pitch by 1. What comes after E? F. Not E sharp, because there is no E sharp, remember? This is F. This note right here is F. So for the rest of your life, this is E, and this is F. Okay? Let's go to the next one. What comes after F? Now be careful, what comes after F? F sharp. You see, F and F sharp for us don't look any different other than where they are on the guitar. There isn't a big white key and a little black key. It doesn't work that way. This is F. This is F sharp. This is G. This is G sharp. Now be careful. This is A, because we have to start all over. And then A sharp. You with me? And then B. Be careful now. What comes after B? C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and then watch this. Right here we have E all over again. 2 dots. That's why this has 2 dots. It's telling you started on E, and now you're ending on E. Now you can keep going, but all of these next notes are an octave of the first ones. 0 and 12 are octaves. They're both E's. 1 and 13 are octaves. 2 and 14 are octaves. 3 and 15 are octaves. These are both G's. These are both F sharps. These are both F's, and so on. Now, if you have an electric guitar, you have even more frets, and sometimes, like I have a guitar sitting over there that I can't reach, but that has 2 octaves. So I see the 2 dots, and if I go up again, I have another one with 2 dots, and you might have an electric guitar that has the same thing. You're just repeating the same notes. Let's just focus on the first 12 frets for right now. Now, what I used to do is I would teach that to a student. I would say, okay, so we have this chromatic scale. Remember, B and E has no sharps, right? So we go to the guitar, we analyze what we just did, which you may have to watch a couple of times if you need to, and we learn that, it starts on E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, and so on. And then I would have them come back the next week, and I would say, okay, so do me a favor and find me B. So then they would go E, and they would count up. Okay, find me D. And then they would count up. Find me G, and they would count up. So I started thinking, well, what's an easier way of doing this so you don't have to count up every time? And here's my little trick, if this helps you. Let's do this. Let's just focus on the odd numbered frets. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Don't worry about 11. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, depending on the guitar that you've got, you may have dots on all of these odd-numbered frets. You may have dots on everything but the first fret. You'll see on my guitar, I am missing a dot on the front, on the first fret, and a dot on the third fret. I have one on the top here, okay? But the point is, the dots are on the odd-numbered frets. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, until you get to 12, okay? But again, let's not worry about that. Let's just think odd numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So E, right there. We got to remember that that's an E string. We need it for tuning. We need to know what the name of that string is. The first fret is F. It just is. For the rest of your life, this note is F. Okay. Now, again, somebody's going to go, well, what if you retune it? Yes, I understand. Let's not talk about that right now. We're learning how to play. That's further down the line. So this note right here is F. Okay. This fret, third fret, which has a dot on the top for me, is G. F, G. 1, 3, F, G. So here's what you do is you have somebody quiz you, and we'll keep going here, but you have somebody quiz you, and they might say, where's F? And you say 1. Where's G? And you say 3. Where's E? And you say 0 or 12, right? Let's keep going. So we have F, G, go to the 5th fret. Now you've got A. F, G, A. 1, 3, 5. F, G, A. So we're learning our primary notes here. F, G, A. 1, 3, 5. Let's go up to 7. Guess what this is going to be? B. 1, 3, 5, 7. F, G, A, B. So again, you could ask somebody, hey, ask me where these are, F, G, A, and B. So then they say B, 7, G, 3, A, 5, F, 1, E, 0, or 12, right? B, 7. And then you might have them ask you the reverse. What's at the 7th fret? B. What's at the 3rd fret? Right? G. What's at the 5th fret? A. So you get to know in your brain, by visualizing in your brain what those notes are. Now watch, because we're almost done. This is super cool. Okay, so now we're on B, 7th fret. Now, this is B. If you remember, B doesn't get a sharp. So this space is C. Now, the dots weren't put on there for the 6th string and the primary notes. We're just using this as a visual example to help us. F, G, A, B. Here's the deal. C is this space. C sharp is the 9th fret. And then D is the other space. So if we visualize C and D surrounding this dot right here, C and D surround this dot. I had a student many years ago, a little girl that was taking guitar lessons, and I was teaching her this, and I did this, and she called it rabbit ears. And ever since then, I've always taught this as rabbit ears. When you get to C and D, those are rabbit ears. F, G, A, B, C, and D, rabbit ears. F, G, A, B, C, and D, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. So all you have to do is memorize 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. F, G, A, B, C, and D, and practice those. D is 10, B is 7, G is 3, F is 1, A is 5, C is 8. Get used to making that connection in your brain, because here's the cool part. Honestly, it would take you 20 minutes of practicing this, and you'd probably have it if you really just sat and thought about it. Not just on your guitar, but in here. 8 is C, G is 3, 5 is A. F is 1, right? Being able to cross back and forth between the fret number and the name of the note. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. Because here's the cool part. Once you really burn that into your brain and you really know those, here's the cool thing. This is F. This is G. What's in between it? F sharp. And you would just know that because you know F and G are here. You know that. So what's in between it? F sharp. Well, here's the other cool part. What else is in between it? G flat. F sharp and G flat are the same note. We call it an enharmonic, which means it's the same note, but it has two different names. If you've got a sharp, you have an opposing flat every time. That's what a flat is. So it's an easy way to memorize this. So if you've got A and B, you've got A sharp or B flat. But you would know that because you know A is at the 5th fret. You know B is at the 7th fret. If you learn those primary notes first, really get those in your head, finding a sharp or a flat is very easy because you just alter what you already know, and eventually you won't even think about it anymore. So if you want B flat, B is at 7. So B flat is 6. Flat tire, you go down. C sharp, C is at 8. So C sharp is 9. A flat, A is at 5. So A flat is 4. And we could apply this directly to our power chords. If I asked you to play me an A flat power chord, you could go A flat. How about an F sharp power chord? F sharp. Because look at my first finger. Again, whether you use 2 fingers or 3 fingers is entirely up to you. Play me a C sharp power chord. C sharp. Okay? So I know it's not the most exciting thing, but you can see how simple it really is. Now, the next question I always get is, well, when should I move on to the 5th string or the 4th string or whatever? Because you can do this with all your strings. Don't move on until you are 1,000,000% sure that you know those notes up and down, back and forth. Because the strings start off on the top as being the most important. The 6th string is the most important chord or notes to learn, because all of your scales and your chords, different chords that we haven't even gotten to yet, all of those can be built off the notes on the 6th string. And then the 5th string and the 4th string and so on. So it's nice to learn them in order, but don't move on to the 5th string and try and learn those when you don't really know the 6th string because you're just going to get confused. So hopefully that helps you to better understand the chromatic scale and a couple of great ways of being able to memorize those notes on your guitar, in this case, namely the 6th string. So please do me a favor. If that helps you at all, please subscribe to the channel. Get that link from the playlist, subscribe, share it. The playlist link is in the description. And also, there's another link in the description for you for some free guitar training of mine, a free guitar course that you can get as well. So you can click on that. So take care, stay positive, keep practicing, don't get too frustrated, and I'll see you in the next video.